Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another game of the Super Rugby Pacific competition. This one, MOANA Pasifika taking on the Fijian Drua. Now, it's taken place in Melbourne. This would have been an epic game to see take place, of course, in the Pacific Islands, but it's still going to be a fantastic game. Looking at the sides, we will start with MOANA Pasifika, and they are going to be as follows. Abraham Poli, Sama Malolo, and Sione Mafaleo will be the front row. Tom Savage and Alan Craig as the locking duo. Then Jacob Norris, Sione Havili Talatui, and Loto Anisi to close out the MOANA Pasifika four-pack. In the backline, Iritara Inari alongside William Havili will be the 19 combo. Filiami Vinay out on one wing. Julian Savi and Henry Taiafu in the midfield. Nigel Wong and Danny Tawala, the rest of the backline. Looking through at the Fijian Drua, they're actually about to start this game a little bit earlier than it was first scheduled, which does mean we are just about to get underway, but it is Natave, Ikanaveri, and Masaki Donge as the front row. Vofi moves into the starting lineup. He is the only new player for the Fijian Drua in the starting side. They have now just kicked off, ladies and gentlemen. The Drua going from right to left. They're ahead of schedule for this opening game, and it has just gone into touch for the Fijian Drua, which means MOANA Pasifika, they will have the first line out of the contest from inside of their own 22, but the loose board trio will be Wanga, also Thanakai Vata and Meri Deri Alangi, Frank Lamani and Armstrong Ravula as the 9-10, Apisolomi Vota alongside Osifu Masi for the midfield, Ilmpeli Momo, Ravatamanda and Rebitu, two men out of the three making their debut last week, now ready to go for this one, but we have now got there as well. Hi, Olin Hamish, says Robert, and also Go Fiji. And currently the Fijian Drua, they are on attack. They are sitting about 15 metres out from the line. Hey, Hamish and Chadley's Go Pacifica, says Mr. Olin. And this is definitely going to be one of those games that show class the skill of the Pacific Islands when it comes to rugby. How different the atmosphere, of course, would be if this game was taking place in either Fiji or Samoa. But it still sounds like a lot of support and attendance for both of these sides in Melbourne, driven backwards. Osifu Masi, good low tackle made in by Henry Taiafu, who is actually shaking out that right shoulder. May have picked up some sort of injury in the tackle process. Armstrong Ravula going back across. I think Wanga might have been taken off the ball for the Drua. 6 phases in a row already here. A little bit loose. Picked up well by Ape Salumi Vota, who now has this ball available in the midfield. Passes on the outside. Here comes a Pele Momo. In fact, there was instead actually the other winger. Is that Celestino Ravatamanda? And if so, he's had a haircut. No, it's a Pele Momo. I think they've actually switched rings. Or sorry, wings, I should say. I like that shirt. It looks cool. Says Robert, I'll be honest, it was extremely warm in here. So I was like, what is the shirt that I've got that will be the most airy, I guess? So then I found this one. I was like, yeah, that'll do. Why not? I look like I'm on vacation, but yeah, it hopefully will do the job. Nicely claimed at the line out by Tom Savage. And bro, do you remember me? Guess who's back? Back again. Izzy's back. Hello, Izzy. Hope you are doing well, mate. Getting wrestled down. About 38 metres from the try line. Sup, Hamish, says Jet Lee's. Welcome in again, mate. Nice rush defence from Tavita Ikanaveri to be able to shut down MOANA Pasifika just inside of their own 40-metre line. Been told to use it this time with Iritara Inari. Does put the kick up high. It's going to be an awkward swirling one, but Frank Lamani has managed to claim it very nicely. The halfway line for the Drua. Now Donge goes across. Apisolomi Vota thought that he saw a bit of a gap, but it was well defended once again by Henry Taiafu, but they will get the penalty this time. MOANA Pasifika. Quick tap taken by Danny Tawala, using his brain there and seeing the gap. That was massive, and now down the wing, chance for Finay. But he's just gone into touch, but brilliant bit of work from MOANA Pasifika. They saw that there was the gap there, decided they'd try and exploit it. Almost able to make their way through, but Apisolomi Vota. Tackle real low and hard by Henry Taiafu. Then the penalty did come. Danny Tawala thought that it was worth a crack of going quickly, which had almost paid off. But Lamani 5 metres out from his line. Now boots that ball into touch up the Pasifika. Says Jet Lee's. And there as well. 4 minutes in. Another line out. This will actually be the second time that we have seen it. You look very handsome in that shirt. Is it a hot day? It is indeed. I had the heat pump on before trying to blast some cool air through the place, but it is still pretty hot. Plus, we were running around quite a bit earlier on, so that, I guess, added to the heat. Nice pass or great driving tackle by Fijian Drua on Willie Havili. And 42-12 for Moana Pacific. Was there from Jet Lee's. Yeah, I'll be honest, like the Drua come into this game as the favourite, but Moana Pacifica, in terms of being the underdog here, like they have more than enough capabilities of going on and winning this game. Their last contest, they did go head-to-head with the Highlanders. They were defeated, but it was a decent showing. 35 points to 21, the end score. And in that contest, they also challenged the Highlanders in pre-season. Game up against the Hurricanes, not so much. They did concede 59 points. So in all three of their games of 2022 thus far, they have conceded over 35 points in each and every one. Up the lander, says Jet Lee's going to be cross-kicked now from the Fijian Drua, looking to play a bit more territory. Taking just outside of the 22 now for Danny Tawala. Thought about the offload to Finney. Doesn't get it to him. A claim there by Tom Savage. 42 metres out from their own line. Moana Pacifica now going to the left-hand side. Henry Taifu. Looks like there might be some sort of injury here to Danny Tawala, which is not good news, seeing as he has only just started in this contest. I would say left knee by the looks of the way that he's limping. Eritara Eneri now. Ball up high, being chased well by Moana Pacifica, knocked on by Finney. Looking straight into the sun now. Nice attacking run from Ezekiel Rebitu. Lamani goes back across to the left-hand side. Api Salome Vota slinging past the Ekanaveri. Now one more on the outside to Wanga, who puts it on the left boot. Ball is curving and it just goes into touch. Went to that pre-season in Queenstown between the Highlanders and Moana Pacifica. Says Jet Lee's. Yeah, it seems like a relatively even battle now anytime that those two sides play. And of course, both times the Highlanders have won it. But Moana Pacifica haven't been a mile off in terms of being able to get close to that victory. Another line out for Moana Pacifica. Be Sama Malolo. Be throwing this one in. Now, anyone wondering, we have got another game just around the corner. That will be the contest taking place between the Crusaders and the Waratahs. We will be covering that one on the channel as well. Brilliant stepping from Frank Lamani as he's wrestled backwards by Sione Havili Talatui. Of course, ex-Crusaders player. Now getting the chance for Moana Pacifica. Saki Donge has had that ball stripped by Sama Malolo. Gets back up to his feet. Currently going to be play on for Moana Pacifica, going to the short side. Nice bit of work from Sione Havili Talatue. Each breakdown, there's plenty of physicality for these two sides. That ball is loose. Once again, we have seen a good shot put in by Meri Derialangi. Feel like we didn't see him enough throughout that first contest, so it would be great to see him a lot more here. Now, nice spin from, I think that would have been Lotu Anisi. No Fini Anisi in the starting lineup for this one. Eritana Eneri now looking for the box kick. Just going a little bit early was a Vofi, so he has had to wait and allow that kick to take place. Now Sama Malolo goes up for it. Eritana Eneri also was leaping. Alright, you lads, evening to you, says Spotify. Welcome in, mate. If you are doing well, Sunday, tomorrow, rugby, or Super Rugby, yes, yet there is 2 games in a row for Super Rugby Pacific. Now, big run down the wing for, I believe it's going to be once again, Viliami Finney. He has been extremely busy throughout the first 8 minutes of this contest that has been played at a very fast pace. Big shot coming in on Craig. I'll go back for the original penalty advantage. Yeah, there is a game taking place at 2 a.m., which is between the Lions and the Sharks for the URC. We are covering that later on after the Crusaders versus Waratahs contest. And then the Bulls versus the Stormers, that is at 4:05 a.m. That'll be finishing at about 6 a.m. New Zealand time. And then I believe straight after that, we are almost back into more action of the 7th circuit. I believe Fiji versus Canada will be kicking off at about 6:30 a.m. So there may be a lack of sleep, is a fair assessment. Yeah, dangerous run down the wing from Viliami Finne. Celestino Ravatamanda managed to get him around the bootlaces after he had made maybe 30 metres or so. Sad for not here, the ladies' game, says Spider Mick. As in, like, that they didn't show the women's game, because I think they did have Super Rugby Aupiki on just before this contest, if I'm not wrong. And morning there, Fabulous Hamish, says Ruth. Now rolling ball here again for Moana Pacifica. Julian Savi is waiting at the back, hoping to get the try, but instead has to give it off to Eritara Henry. Now cross kick from William Arveli. It's gone up, beautifully taken out on the wing, but the ball's been slapped away, and it's going to be the advantage now for the Drua. Upper Salome Vota has two players with him. He goes to Osefo Masi, and Eritana Henry will not be able to catch him. And the Fijian Drua have gone the full length of the field to score that try. But was there a deliberate knock-on? Because if there was, I believe it's going to be a try down the other end and probably a yellow card. But for now, the Fijian Drua, they just want to check the grounding as well as what initially started the play. Just want to check to see if there is a knock-on. One moment, we'll go like this. So the on-field decision is try. What's so good about the men's game, Hammy? The ladies fascinated to watch, says Spider Mick. I assume are you saying because I didn't do the game? Because we also didn't do the sevens because we weren't actually at home, Spider Mick. So hopefully you still watch the women's game. I'll probably end up watching the replays of them a little bit later on. Was that a deliberate knock-on? Or if it hits the Fijian Drua's player's hand, this might be a little bit of trouble for Apeli Momo. And please be a try for Fiji, says Simran. And I watched both women's games. No try. It's a knock-on, but because he got two hands to it, it becomes just a knock-on rather than a deliberate knockdown. So that is extremely important, because had it been the other way around and it was one hand, then more than likely he would have been going to the bin for a bit of time. That sure looks amazing, Hamish. Who did you pick for this round of sevens? I'm so shocked by the way the Blitzbox handled the last competition. I picked Fiji to win the whole comp, beating New Zealand in the final, I believe. Or, no, I might have said New Zealand would beat Fiji in the final, but either way I said it would be a New Zealand-Fiji final. So whether or not that happens or not, we'll of course have to wait and see. Now, scrum feeder will be for Moana Pacifica, only 5 metres out from the line. That is probably the best non-try that we have seen scored throughout the season. By the way, I love your shirt, Amy, says Spider Mick. I'll be honest, the only reason that I've got it on is because it's extremely hot here, and I was sweating profusely, so I thought, I'll put it on, and that should at least cool me down a little bit. Five metres from the line. Commentators at the moment are making bus references, of course, talking about Julian Savia. Fair enough, Spider Mick. But yeah, it's not one that I would wear out and about in our town because I'd probably get punched, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going bare feet at the moment, and my shorts, they don't really match it. But luckily, you guys can't see them. Cape Town is sunny today. Got weekend off, yay. That's a good look, says Robert. Thank you very much. Now, Eritara Henry goes off to the left-hand side. Willie Arveli inside ball to Julian Savia. With the Fiji Sevens, has been playing recently. Why were they your top picks since they keep failing at either the semis or the quarters? Because they keep failing at the semis or the quarters. And eventually Fiji will win. It's just a question of what leg will it be that they do come right. Just look at that shirt. It's a wee winner, Hamish, says Aroof. Now, nice step from Danny Tuwala. Almost went in for the corner. 11 and a half minutes through. MOANA Pasifika looking to be the first side to cross the try line. Iritara Inri again goes across to Sama Malolo. This is brilliant defense from the Fijian Drua at this point until now. They break through MOANA Pasifika. And it's the big man, I think that was Abraham Pule, who has been able to score. Or was it Mafaleo? It was one of the props anyway. We're about to find out. Was it Sama Malolo? If it's Sama Malolo, he's carried a lot. No, that was Sama Malolo. It's going to be the big man, Sione Mafaleo, who managed to get in. I'm going to get some bullish shoots from Fiji, says Simran there. A great run from Sione Mafaleo. I think they would have been picking him as the first try scorer in this contest. The underdogs, MOANA Pasifika, they will cross the try line for the first time in this match. I love the way New Zealand played in the last round. Says Ruth. Yeah, although they haven't quite started their campaign the way that they would have liked to with the loss to Australia. Where's Leroy Kato? I believe he's injured at the moment, as he has been left out of the New Zealand squad a few times in a row. Lining up this kick, William Havili doesn't get it over. I think we've actually had quite a few missed kicks this weekend. I know the Highlanders last night were really struggling to be able to convert their chances. MOANA Pasifika, they are sitting 5 points to 0 in their first half. Now, the good news is the shade is almost completely over the ground compared to what we did see last contest, where there was a lot more sun, although Julian Savia shining in the sun at the moment. Most of this game being played on the near side of the field. Alan Craig drags it down. MOANA Pasifika in position about 30 metres from their try line. Back across to the left-hand side. This time it's Abraham Pule. The big thing is trying to keep the pressure on this Fijian Drua team. As soon as you take the pressure off, that is when we see options like they had before, whether it was the no try. They can go the full length of the field. These are strong players, no messing around, just pure energy and talent. So here's Ruth. Now a big run from Masaki Donge. Ritara Inri manages to stop his momentum, which is not an easy thing to do when you've got a man 130 kgs steamrolling straight towards you. Lomani goes off to the left-hand side to Tavira Ikanaveri. Now shifting back right. Big shot coming in on Elia Thanakai for the ball, Lamani. Find Armstrong, Ravula. Across to... Oh, okay, that's an injury, I believe, for Isoana Silisili. He did grip that ankle straight away. The turnover is good for MOANA Pasifika. And almost at a touch, I think that was Finney, but he's managed to keep it alive. He got some fans with that beautiful shirt, Hamish. I missed that game. Who won the Canes game? Anyway, Hammy. Says Spider Mick. If you're talking about the men's Hurricanes, they are playing tomorrow up against the Reds, and that is the following game, or the game that is straight after Chiefs versus Brumbies. They're saying just a little bit of disorganisation from the Fijian Drua defence at this stage of the contest. They've spent a lot of time defending, not so much time on attack as of yet. I think there is still that injury. I think it was, yeah, there it is. Asoana Silasila. To go down straight away, and he was gripping at that ankle. So actually also, I think that Sama Malolo is down too. So quite a few players down at the moment. Being played at a fast pace. Oh, no, that might be Julian Savia who is down. Unless you see Simran. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze quite a few times probably throughout this one. Oh no, that's not Julian Savia. He's just set up and he looks very different. Blitzbox had a shocker. Then they end up 9th after the last round. Says Review, they've been struggling big time the last little while. They are just showing Joey Wheeler. And Just showing one of the commentators was having a sleep before the game. Fun fact, I'm busy, working, couldn't catch up, Pammy, says Spider Mick. And also No Savia says, Nov Mum, did you end up going to Timarua? Certainly did. We actually ended up coming back a lot earlier than anticipated, as our cricket match did not go for that long. But it was still a nice day out. You know, hot enough to get burnt, so luckily I did have sunscreen on. One moment, we are sneezing again. We are good. Come on, Fiji, let's get some tries. But it is Fijian Drua's ball. And Ravatamanda has just broken straight through the defensive line. Pass on the outside. Elia Thanakaivata. How did that try happen? There was a scrum. Fijian Drua on their own 22. And pretty much Ravatamanda just received the short pass. Went straight through a gap. And then from there, just the simple draw and pass to get round the fullback, the Iritara Inuri. He was sent the wrong way, and the pace was impressive. Of course, Finne had no option but to try and make that tackle. And did run out of numbers. Fijian Drua, though, the number on everyone's mind is Elia Thanakaivata, number 7, has been able to score the try. And also there's a chance that 7 points could be on the board for the Drua at the end of this match. Having toasted cheese and ham sandwich. Sounds alright. At 17 minutes in. Score sitting 5-5 now between these two sides. Now, any time that they have played in the past, it's been a high-scoring affair. And most of the time, it's been extremely close. I believe one of the most recent times, we saw about a 48-46 score line. Now, these two sides, they've slowed down in the scoring a little bit. Okay, we're doing okay in the cricket, AAMI. Believe we're going to win, only the rain can deny us that chance. Says Spider Mick. Yeah, although we've still got a lot of runs to go. Got to remember that to chase down the amount that they need to more than double what they scored when they were bowled out in the first innings. That one has missed, though. So now it's going to make the score 5-5 between these two sides. But Sioniha Velitalatui just missed that tackle, though being said, he probably wasn't supposed to be the man making that tackle. He was still just coming back from the scrum. Now, good challenge in the air. Finne has done beautifully to be able to take that ball. Now back across to the left-hand side with Danny Tuala trying to spin out of that challenge. Now Iritara Inuri. Getting dropped hard was Abraham Pole. Back to the left again. Sioniha Velitalatui. Finne Anisi. In fact, sorry, Lotu Anisi, his brother. Now going short side, Julian Savia almost able to break through, gets the offload away to Finne, and he'll be 2 metres out from the line from MOANA Pasifika. Some brilliant go forward here, trying to bring it into the rolling maul. Weren't able to do so. Now big leg drive from Lotu Anisi. I guess that's one tactic to stop him from leg driving. They just pick him up off the ground. I can see there's some argy-bargy in the Aussie cricket test again. Whose fault was it this time? How's Warner doing? Always in the mix. Says, Roof, are you talking about Kane Williamson's run out? I think that the only person who was really at blame or at fault for that was actually Kane Williamson. And now, very close, Iritara Inuri just stopped short again. Craig pops the ball up to Sama Malolo. 9 phases in a row here for MOANA Pasifika. Sione Mafaleo. It's only a couple out. Iritara Inuri, short ball. Big man gets close. I think he's going to be held up here, though. Yes, he is, and it's a goal line dropout. No, they're going back for the original offside penalty against the Fijian Drua. And these disciplinary issues are starting to add up a little bit more for Fiji here. And Amy Jones with the New Zealand try. We I'll go like this. Now 20 minutes. Just all over in the breakdown, Tanakai Vata. And then I believe it was just that man there. Can't see the number though. And big loss for Moana. There's Mr. Orlin. I mean, they've been extremely close multiple times to scoring every time. Oh, that one's actually gone a little bit backwards for Moana Pasifika. Interesting that they did decide to opt for the line out here rather than going for the scrum. Sama Malolo, though, will be coming off the field. That is for Sam Molly. And also, I think Asoana Silasila will be making his way from the field for the Fijian Drua. If I got punched by one of those guys on the field, I'd be I'd be on Mars by lunchtime. See, here's Rufy. There's some solid boys. Who's next after this? The next game is the Crusaders versus the Waratahs. That is taking place at 9:35 p.m. Australian time. Well, sorry, New Zealand time. It's a little bit earlier kickoff in Melbourne at 7:35. The rolling ball looks good though. Big power shown by Sam Molly when he joined on the back trying to throw that weight around. They have been told to use it, and it hasn't come out for Moana Pasifika. Great defense from the Fijian Drua. I think it was Tia Huarurekarerita who managed to stop that one. So here's on the field for Isoana Silasila. So looking at the odds, Moana Pasifika, they are actually still underdogs. Even though they scored that first try, they now still sit with the underdog factor. Fijian Drua, though, 5 metres out from their line. We've seen them score almost a full field try just before. Of course, the only thing that stopped it was that partial knock on. The ball has been fed in. Big push from Moana Pasifika's fullback. Nice step in the midfield from Api Salomi Vota. He's taken down by his opposite number, Julian Savia. They had a very impressive game up against the Highlanders last week in the opening round of Super Rugby Pacific. That one has found touch from Armstrong Ravula. And now will be the line out for Moana Pasifika. Line out. There'll be quite a few yawns all throughout the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are staying up, I believe, for another 24 hours from now. In terms of the sleeping schedule, it does not exist for this weekend. And Hamish, happy late New Year, brother. Hope 2024 has started good for you. Says Junior Ryder. And back to you as well, Ryder. It is good to see you. 25 metres out. Going back for another penalty against the Fijian Drua. Now, that is about the 4th or 5th in a row. And that's going to make it a little bit concerning. Okay, too many down this end. Any more from this end of the field, the referee has said, will be a yellow card. Wells, man, strong work, Hamish. Nice. Says Mr. Orlin. Now it looks like Moana Pasifika will be taking on the 3 points in the form of William Havili. Deciding to slow this one down a little bit and just take that lead back. Been close to scoring multiple times. Every time they've kicked it for the corner, haven't quite been able to get in. But all-time Super Rugby tries, Julian Savia currently sitting on 60. Israel Folau currently sitting on the 60 as well. But, of course, Folau not playing in Super Rugby anymore, and he hasn't been for about 4 years. The Savia, a big opportunity for him to be able to catch up. Be the all-time leading try scorer, but that one is converted. Going to make the score now 8 points for Moana Pasifika compared to the 5 of the Fijian Drua. Like I've just said, pretty wise to take the points when they are available. The last thing that you want to do is go for that corner again. Although, I don't know. I almost would have considered the corner because of so many repeat infringements. It could end up actually working in the favour of Moana Pasifika. Let's go, my Fiji boy. I already emailed your boss, Fijian Drua. I don't make it again, hey, Amish. Says Brandon, welcome in. Now, Eritara Henry has been told to use it. Goes back across to the left-hand side. Off to Tom Savage. Just looking through at some of the Sevens games as well that are taking place tomorrow. The quarterfinals are going to be on, I believe, at the same time as Chiefs versus Brumbies, so we might have to do some sort of juggling throughout that time. A kick downfield from Dedi Tawala. Ooh, a little bit of a slip there for Frank Lamani, but he has now managed to regather his footing. In fact, it's going to be the young fullback Rapitu. Had his debut last week up against the Blues. Same with Apeli Momo. And also, I believe they have one other debut with Armstrong Ravula. Good run from Lamani. Flat pass to Eliathara Kaivata, but this time Lamani does knock it on. G'day, hey bro, how you been? Says Padsy. Oh, sorry, Pedza. Gonna be kicked downfield. Rabitu is back there again, though. Good low tackle made by Eritara Henry and Moana Pasifika. They managed to turn over again. Good work from Jacob Norris, the ex-Chiefs man. Finney moves up to 22 out. Neither of these sides are lacking meters made, that is for sure, throughout this first half. How you did in your cricket game, Emmy? It was a very short one. We were playing on a pitch that definitely wouldn't have got a good ICC rating, and it was all over pretty quickly. Come on, Pacific Ocean. Says Spider-Mick now passing on the outside. Finney with the ball again. He has been impressive here, stepping on the inside, but he just drops the ball. 5 meters out. The Drua are going to have themselves another scrum, but Finney, it was there for the taking. He had beaten the defenders that he needed to, but just ends up with that ball slipping out of the grasp. A great step there, though. Almost went through. Wasn't able to. Showing the coaching staff for Moana Pasifika. We see Tana Umoja in there. Looks like Celestino Ravatamande has just stayed down a little bit longer here. He's got a lot of strapping already around the forehead region. 9 visits to the opposition, 22 for Moana Pasifika. But they have only got the 1 try. Is it bedtime for you, Amy? It is not. No, I've got another about 24 minutes. Why the F did I bet the over? Says Reeves. So who'd you back, Reeves, in terms of the plus in whose favour? Do let me know. Is it bedtime for you? I know I read that one and good paddle. Getting ready for the live stream. You should come over if not busy. Cheers, Brandon. Carry meters made already 200 plus for both of these sides. Actually relatively even across some of the stats, although it has felt like we've seen a lot more Moana Pasifika attack more recently than the Fijian Drua. Now Sione Havili Talatui takes it quickly, gets it away to Savage. Looks like Savage might be in some discomfort on the ground. Hopefully he is going to be all right. No, he is a little bit slower. Getting back to his feet now, some quick hands there from the midfield. Henry Taifu got it away. It looked like Willie Havili took a bit of a cheap shot as well. Nice work from Nigel Awong. Flying down the wing. He's got it a touch. I'm not sure how many arms were involved in the tackle attempt, but it was some good cover defense from the Fijian Drua. Whether there was an arm or not, they've still stopped what could have been a certain try. Yeah, it was a Masaki Vofi. We've just heard one of the commentators say it was Nasilasila, but Nasilasila, of course, going off the field about 15 minutes ago. And instead, Te Ehoaru Thirikadavita, the man just with the ball now, didn't replace him. But that one was all Vofi. Going to be put into touch by Armstrong Ravula. And I remember me, says Pops Edits. Have you changed your name? Pops Edits, out of curiosity. I know that we've had quite a few people who have changed their name recently. Nigel Wong getting smashed towards the touchline. It was close to the touchline, and yes, in fact, it was out. Oh, we will go like this. And like that. There we go. Frank Lamani, big smile on his face, no lull. Will I remember you from one of these two sites or just Super Rugby in general, Pops Edits? I'm looking at your profile picture and it doesn't look that familiar. The name sounds familiar, I think, but not the profile picture. So has that been changed? Hamish, did you remember my old account name, Hamish? Which one, Brandon? You've had a few names over the years. Oh, he'd done it, Henry. There was just a little knock on from MOANA Pasifika on the ground, though. I think it might have been Nigel Wong, who was a long way away. It was more rugby ones. Says Pop Edits. 30 minutes into this one, 8 points to 5. Like I said, normally when these two sides play, it is extremely high scoring. Not so much the case in this contest. They're just talking about the offside backline of the Fijian Drua and how much that has been costing them throughout the first 30 minutes. And sometimes it hasn't just been that offside, it's also been the penalties that they have been giving away alongside that. Well, yeah, Finney hit the ground hard and then almost got kicked in the head and stomped on by Tavita Ikanaveri. So that is why he's going to be making his way from the field, coming off for the HIA after some heavy contact. And it's also going to mean that Ratuva has made his way onto the field. Oh, Lamani almost passes it into his own teammate. Hamish, have you ever been to Queenstown? Ages and ages ago. But yeah, not too recently. And yo, come on, Fiji, that's perfect. Shows how much both teams, or how much work both teams have put in, says Reeves. Yeah, they've been very evenly matched throughout this first half. I was hoping for at least 25 for the first half. You might have to go quick, although 50-22 here for the Fijian Drua. I know they've said it was just inside of their half. And one what I joined the first live stream of your, I think it was Super Rugby in 2021. Says Brandon, what's happening to this game? Did slow motion. I think it's still being played at a relatively fast pace. It's just more of the case of these two sides are matching each other pound for pound pretty decently. And neither side really have broken through that much. It's going to be a mistake from the Fijian Drua at line-out time. Which stadium is your green screen? It's actually the LA Sevens, fun fact. We haven't got AAMI Park behind us at the moment. That is because we just finished doing a Sevens stream not too long ago. But tell you what, just to make you feel a little bit better, I was going to put it behind me, but it seems like it's missing. That's not good. I will change it on the next live stream, just because I have to get the right picture and everything along those lines. That's going to be a loose ball. Add some more tries, please. Give me lads, rock this world. And go Moana, says Ioane. You asked me, then we both know. And also, when are we on Sevens, Hammy? So there aren't any more Sevens tonight, but the next Sevens contest is at 6:30 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow morning between Fiji and Canada. And we do have plans of covering that one on the channel. That will be after doing an all-nighter covering the URC. We've got 2 matches back-to-back. Also after this contest, we have got the game between the Crusaders and the Waratahs. So there's still plenty of rugby action that is just around the corner. And of the next probably 24 hours, we're going to be streaming for maybe 16 or 17 hours of that 24-hour period, with the others probably not going to sleep. We'll probably be editing during that time instead. But the penalty this time goes to the Fijian Drua. They're both too good, keeping their defences up. There's Roof. Sounds like they are going to be taking on the shot at the post now. The Fijian Drua. Front row standing up against Abraham Pole. And also Sione Mafaleo. A lot of pressure being put in from the Fijian Drua. That's actually, we expected their scrum to do a tad better than it did in the last contest. Do you see Rebels versus the Force? Well, 48 points to 36 at full time. Amelia will be happy. Certainly will. I think she might have even gone to that game. And what's the cricket score, please, Amy? Says Peter Stowers. New Zealand, the last I saw, were 3 down, I think it was. They're 111 for 3 at stumps. Still need another 258. Isaiah Armstrong Ravula. Going to be lining up that 1 week nicely. Probably just any time you want to, really. The good news is, for you guys, if you are sleeping, I probably won't know. Like, there'll be times when you're a bit quieter in the chat, and I'll be like, oh, okay, they might be off doing something. But, yeah, like, you guys can go to sleep at any time, and I would have no idea. Imagine running into those bodies and trying to move forward, being bulldozed backwards. Says Ruth, but the kick was good. 8-all after 34 minutes. Close game between these two Pacific Island sides. Be kicked off just. Oh, it's poor there from the Fijian Drua. I think that was Eliathana Kaiwata, the try scorer from earlier on. Thank you, Amish. And Robbie, you can't sleep. Amish is busy. Here's Ruth in there as well. Of course, the next game that we are doing is Crusaders versus Waratahs. So be sure to keep an eye out for that contest as well. Not if you tell them you go and sleep. And yeah, Fiji, keep going, says Ruth. One's going to be thrown in by Sama Malolo. Henry Time Stowers. I just said, rather than Sione Aveli Talatui. It's someone who probably would be a very good fit for this team, although he is playing for Benetton at the moment, Henry Stowers. That's going to be the knock-on. Slammed the ball into the turf, Lotto Anisi, and then the ball came straight back, hit him in the face. Try not to miss one, says Robert. And I was like, yeah, Fiji, keep going, says Ruth. And there as well. But yeah, there will be little gaps, like after Super Rugby is finished, there'll be a 2-hour window before the next live stream does take place, or maybe about 2.5 hours. During that time, I believe I will be editing rather than sleeping. So, yeah. That's probably the best opportunity to sleep. That shirt alone makes you want to get up and disco dance. And don't go to sleep, Hammer, you fall into temptation, says Spider Meg. I mean, last week I certainly took that advice. I remember I was doing all the adding up on my notes on Tuesday after the big weekend, and I worked out that I was up for 64 hours with only 6 hours of napping throughout the 3 days. And throughout those 3 days, we did about 16 hours of streaming. We released about 8 videos on the channel. And somehow I was still slightly awake at the end of it. A big scrum from Moana Pasifika. Frank Lamani once again. The Fijian Drua scrum. They've almost did a motion replay of what happened last time, but stopping. Ravatamanda just kept the ball in the field of play. Lamani now 22 metres out, flicks it out the back door. Didn't look to see if there was anyone there for the pass, so instead just gave it back to Moana Pasifika. Going to be non-stop action, says Ruth. Great low tackle made again. I've been told to use it now. That ball has gone high. Mostly taken by Frank Lamani. In fact, this time it was Rabitu. Elimomo gets the offload away to Osefo Masi. He considered the offload, and in the end he decided to still throw it, even though Nigel Awong was right there waiting for it. And Moana Pasifika have it again. It seems to be the ball security for the Fijian Drua is not what it should be. Tama Falau now, the youngster from Tonga. He's going to be foot tripped, I think, by Celestino Ravatamanda. Yep. And if this is a foot trip, this is probably a yellow card. Okay. Sounds like it's going to be a yellow card for one of the Fijian Drua players for kicking the opposition with a foot trip. Which is like a strong Irish coffee. Gives you a kick start. Here's Ruth. Possible foot trip on the player is what they are going to be checking here, which isn't something that gets checked often. Well, I said after such a great attacking play from the Fijian Drua not too long ago, so he goes up. Oh, so the foot is out. He jumps up. He sticks his foot out partially, but at the same time, his legs have to go somewhere after he's jumped. Yeah. He is still extended, though, outwards a little bit. Like they're saying, probably just enough to be a yellow card. Clear foot trip. It's going to be a yellow card. Here we go. The Fijian Drua, after having some quite decent line breaks, just discipline has hurt them drastically. And there was scored nothing in it. Anybody's game. So here's Ruth. Now, William Havili putting this ball into touch. 5 metres out from the line. What yellow who? So Celestino Rivatamanda has been yellow carded. It's the first run from Kairan Tumafalau since he made his way onto the field. That was in replacement of the number 11, Viliami Finne. That was due to a HIA. Now, Sama Malolo throws in a nice set play here from the Moana Pacificans, just going with the close in, rolling more, draw, defending well. The ball goes into touch. Now, Fijian Drua, they will have a line out of their own, 5 metres out from Moana Pacifica's from their own try line. But that's actually been when the Drua have been most dangerous, when they've had to travel the full length of the field. How's the ref shaping up, Hamish? I think it's been decent so far throughout this game. At the end of the day, Fijian Drua's defence, their discipline, it just has been a lot less than desirable. It's going to be taking a player in the year for Moana Pacifica, which actually means the Drua received the penalty this time rather than conceding it. I was asking questions about your school days on news yesterday. Did you see rugby players came to your school? I did not know. I didn't know they had. Fiji yellow card. Yep, Celestino Rawatamanda now off the field for the next 10 minutes. They've just talked about the fact that Moana Pacifica have visited the Fijian Drua's 22 14 times, but they've only scored 1 try. I need some chili on my biltong. So here's Ruth. Now 20 seconds remaining in the half. I just want to quickly see how that changes the odds. And yeah, I mean, Moana Pacifica have gone to narrow favourites now, just as I've currently seen it, but the knock-on, at least knocked back by the Fijian Drua. Moana Pacifica back in position. Good quick hands from Julian Savia. Ball on the outside to Nigel Wong. 10 metres from the line. Now back across to the left. They have got a lot of players to the left. Eritara Inuri looping it in on Willie Arvili. Now wide cut out pass and Fini Anisi. In fact, it's Loto Anisi. Does score the try for Moana Pacifica. They have had to work extremely hard to break through, but they finally have, and they'll get the try just before the end of the first half. And Waratahs vs. Sailors, always a good game, says Josh. It certainly is. Of course, we will be covering that game on the channel as well. And yes, Yahoo, says Spider Mech. Yeah, quick moving of the ball. And then the wide cutout pass from Danny Tuala. Just got it perfectly into the hands of Lotu Anisi. I think Amish's king of commentators of live commentary. Best of the best. Says Ruth, oh, I am about to sneeze again. Of course, the best commentators don't sneeze every 5 minutes like myself. Lotu Anisi, his first try of the day. Tars beat the Satyrs last time in Australia. Says Josh, and come on Fiji, don't let this slide, and also the clapping in the chat as well. But that is now half time between these two sides, ladies and gentlemen. 15 points to 8 in favour of Moana Pasifika. And we'll also have the man advantage going into the second half. I don't think we saw too many scrums throughout that contest. Maybe about 2, but the metres gained, 308 for the Fijian Drua compared to the 297 of Moana Pasifika. Also seen 13 defenders beaten by the Fijian Drua compared to the 6 of Moana. And then 4 from the Fijian Drua when it comes to clean breaks, 6 for Moana Pasifika there. They have scored 2 tries compared to the Fiji, just 1. 89 tackles made by the Drua, 48 made by the home side. But it is in Melbourne, so it is still kind of an away game for Moana Pasifika there. Penalties conceded. Currently we're seeing 4 against the Fijian Drua. They have recently received that yellow card, so that might have even been a little bit of an earlier stat, but it actually is 65% in favour of Moana Pasifika when it comes to the possession stat, which is very impressive indeed. Bless you 1,000 times, Hamish. That mustache is awesome, says Ruth. And surely Razor in the crowd watching the Satyrs. I'd say so. He's actually been in attendance for most of the games that we have been seeing at the ground. And yeah, where's Razor? Scott, says Ruth. And there as well. But second half, I think that we're going to see a lot more of Moana Pasifika really looking to push through this Fijian Drua defence. Definitely early on, when they have got their man advantage, seeing as Celestino Ravatamanda did get himself sent off the field and will be off for the next maybe 9 or so minutes. Then for the Fijian Drua and Moana Pasifika, their benches could be so crucial. We've already seen Tama Falau make his way onto the field. Same with Sam Molly. And then for the Fijian Drua, we have actually already seen Te Awaru Threkanavita and Ratuva. He made his way onto the field. I don't know whether or not he's still out there. Thanakaivata does score the 1 try for the Fijian Drua for Moana Pasifika. We saw the first try from Sione Mafaleo. And then the other try was scored by, I believe it was... What's the other try scored? I believe it was Savage. I think Tom Savage. It was Lotu Anisi more recently. So far we've seen 156 metres carried by Finne. We have got the AAMI I'm coming to Kiwiland to get that shirt someday, says Ruth. Yeah, 156 metres carried from 7 carries, 2 defenders beaten, 4 clean breaks. You can understand why they took him out when he was on the ground and kicked him in the head, because he was cutting them open. 62 metres made by Sefo Masi. Also, most defenders beaten by Frank Lamani, who has beaten 4 defenders from his 4 carries and also made 47 metres along the way. In terms of the tackling numbers, Eritara Enori, he has made 7 for Moana Pasifika, followed closely by Sione Mafaleo with 6. And actually, the leading tackler is Tom Savage, who has made 1 more than Eritara Enori. He has made the total of 8. Only one man in double figures when it comes to the tackling stat. That is Masaki Donge. And then Wanga has also had 8 tackles. And Natave has had 9. Second half of this contest, I would say, we're still a few minutes away from the second half getting underway. The halftime break is relatively long. Just filmed a video or YouTube vid, says Jetly. So hopefully it all went smoothly for you. Was it something to do with rugby in terms of the video, or was it just a random one? Jetly, do let me know. At 9 line breaks per team, they have just shown their post-contact meters. Moana Pacifica having 74 compared to the 29 of the Fijian Drua. 13 defenders beaten for Moana Pacifica compared to the 11 of the Fijian Drua. Random, says Jet Lees, and thanks for the live chat. Says Merolita, no worries at all. Anyone who is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're back with plenty more of the Super Rugby Pacific season. In terms of what's happening next week when it comes to the contests, we have got once again a couple very exciting days just around the corner. Of course, this weekend was spread out over 3 different games that were taking place, or 3 different days, sorry. Next week, it's actually all fit into just the 2, even though that is the wrong one. That was actually what is happening coming up. Of course, 2 games taking place tomorrow. But in terms of next week, we are going to get to see Moana Pacifica in action nice and early. They will be going head-to-head with the Rebels on Friday night. Waratahs going head-to-head with the Highlanders. That is the 9:35 p.m. game on Friday. I should mention these are all in New Zealand times as well, ladies and gentlemen. Then Crusaders versus Fijian Drua, that will be a great game, taking place at 2:05 p.m. Blues versus the Hurricanes at 7:05, and then the Reds taking on the Chiefs. That is at 9:35 p.m. Not to overshadow, of course, Brumbies versus Western Force. That is kicking off at 4:35. So no Sunday games next week. All games taking place on Friday and the Saturday. Evening, Amish brother. Hope you're well. You're all cool like the shirt. Says BDV, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. I'm perfect shirt to go dancing with my sweetheart Ruth. I'll do a face reveal at 100 subs. Says Jet Lees and Peter, thanks. And nice shirt, bro, 60 years. Says Nazi Williams. Appreciate that, mate. I mean, to be fair, I said about the reason of wearing it earlier on. It's just pretty much because it's extremely hot here. And it was the only shirt that was kind of free-flowing, if that makes sense. That you can go like that and it's just very eerie. So that was the main reasoning behind it. Tana Umaga, perfect fit for this lot. And also RC, he's a lucky man, and everyone subscribe. Says Jet Les, how would you describe this game so far in one sentence? Ooh, one sentence. I would say fast-paced, heavy hitting. That combination with a comma there, so it is still one sentence. But yeah, it's been a very entertaining contest between these two sides, both having their moments. Fijian Drua, their discipline's probably letting them down. Moana Pacifica, they've had 14 visits to the opposition 22, but have only scored 2 times. Just a name on the chat, says Jet Lees. Our second half just around the corner. Seen 1 scrum penalty conceded by Moana Pacifica, so that might be why they aren't too keen on going in and taking on the scrum. You're going to stream the URC games later? I certainly am. We are doing from here on out about a 24 more hour day, even though I've been up for about 12 hours already. So I think we're going to be doing about a 34 hour day, mainly because there's just too much sport on that there's no time for sleep. Only at 4 subs, says Jet Lees. Just showing some Crusaders supporters in the stands, of course, the same ground that this game has taken place from. We are going to get to see the Crusaders versus Tars just around the corner. Awesome stuff, says Birdie V. A 64% possession in favour of Moana Pacifica. Territory 68%. They're just interviewing people in the stands, talking about the Hurricanes. Of course, they are going to be taking on the Reds tomorrow. I feel like it's very risky asking people in the stands live on television questions, because you just never know what's going to happen. Can you please give me a shout out next video? Says Jet Lees, although depending on what your videos are about, you said it was random. So people, the thing I found early on is it's all well and good getting shout outs, but if the people who subscribe to the channel from the shout out don't watch the videos, it actually does more harm than good to your channel because you don't get that natural growth. So having 5 subscribers who are watching it because you want to watch it, if that makes sense, rather than having 20 subscribers where one person might watch it, YouTube are much more likely to help you out if you've got 5 people who want to watch it, type thing. And Ta's a tough team for the Satyrs, says Spider Mech. Second half, close to getting underway. And I mean, the Waratahs, don't get me wrong, like they had a pretty decent effort up against the Reds, but they just didn't really quite get their foot on the gas when they needed to, and they didn't quite get to that next level when it was needed. I think we get an ad for a ute every single half time on the cricket. Or sorry, on the cricket and the rugby, in fact. Everyone's selling Ford Rangers at the moment. I think in terms of the best player on the field, I would have to go with Viliami Fine for that first half. Do the New Zealand R Plus Super Rugby play predictor, says Jet Lees. I mean, me and Tim actually give our predictions on the rugby recap each and every week of who we think will be walking away with a victory. Now, I will say earlier on, I mean, I got the Rebels versus Western Force game wrong. I actually thought the Western Force would pull it off. This game, I did say that Moana Pasifika would win, though, because I felt like overall, from what we saw in the first week, they looked like the more well-rounded team. And it looked like it was going to take just that little bit longer for the Fijian Drua, but that's not a bad thing. I feel like they'll start peaking near the end of the season. In terms of the Fijian Drua, best player on the field, I mean, Thalakai Vaftas had a decent enough half. Lamani's looked good. And then, I mean, other than the fact that he got himself a yellow card, Celestino Ravatamanda was actually doing quite well. What even is that score disappointing? I should have just not come back, says Simran there. Although the good news is, not many sides can have the opposition visit their 22 15 times in a first half and only concede 2 tries. So, yes, the Drua will be disappointed to be down, but it could have been 40 points to 8 at the moment if they had conceded a few more tries like some other sides that we've seen in the competition. I believe the Tars top of the Satyrs the last time they met them, if I'm right. Says, Spider Mick, you are correct. I said 30-6 in favour of the Force. And Harry Potter says that Naz Williams there. We are very close to the start of this second half. I'm going to quickly go like this. And like that as well. There we go. Just talking to Stephen Jones, the Moana Pasifika assistant coach, the Welshman. And we have Gadeo Agree, says Mr. Orlin. So yeah, like, yes, they're down by 7 points, but it could have been a lot worse. And also alongside that, they have got a man disadvantage, but they're only 1 converted try out of this game. So I still feel like they've got a decent enough shot to get their momentum rolling. 64% in favour of Moana Pasifika for the possession, 68% in favour of them for the territory. They only scored those 2 tries. Going to need a few more around the corner. They are also just showing a little bit of an advertisement for the LA Sevens. It's taking place tomorrow. We will be covering a majority of the day on the channel, which is why we are not sleeping for the next 24 hours or so. Drua needs a high footy IQ, smart 5'8". And I'll just stay for the commentary, but Drua need to bring it hard in this next half, says Simran there. Showing there, it starts at 4:20 a.m. Australian time for the Sevens. Of course, first day game will be Canada versus Fiji. If I am correct, Fiji getting themselves the win over Great Britain in their first contest, so looking to make it 2 from 2. Fijian Drua at the moment, they are sitting with 3 losses from 3, including their pre-season. Moana Pasifika, they are in the same boat. So which of these sides that have had a losing streak will be able to turn it around and cross the try line here? It looks like Finay has been able to continue, which is massive for Moana Pasifika after his 150 metres made throughout the first half. Wait, is there a game on, says Better Place? There certainly is. Moana Pasifika versus the Fijian Drua, followed by Crusaders versus Waratahs, which starts at 9:35 p.m. at New Zealand time. So that is in about 1 hour, 25 minutes that we will be starting that live stream, ladies and gents. I was just looking at that man going, did we actually see him throughout the first half? I know I mentioned him once, but that was nowhere near enough. I don't see it. Says Pizza Blaze. Have you got your eyes shut at the moment, Paddy? Maybe. Currently 25 metres out from their own line here. The Fijian Drua going from left to right now. Upper Salumi Vota trying to break through. Now they do still have another 6 minutes remaining of the yellow card. What's up, brother? Says Levi. Welcome in, mate. Doing extremely well. Now on the halfway line, going off to the left-hand side. Breaking down the wing, Finne. Let's get it out to William Hartvili. Savia keeps the ball alive now. Will be a Nisi. Jacob Norris. Very hard there. Good attacking run. I think that was actually, it's Sam Molly, one of the replacements. Kicked him behind. Sits up for Moana Pasifika. And they strike right at the start of the second half. Henry Taifu. They just made it look a little bit too easy. But then we remember that's the wing that Celestino Ravatamunda might have been guarding. Of course, Apeli Momo also should have been out there. But it looked like they went with a slightly different defensive tactic. And Henry Taifu manages to get through. As Hiriti Hatit playing in this game for the Drua. I think he's off the bench at 17 for this one. Whereas George is at his house. I'm sure he'll be watching the Crusaders Waratahs game just around the corner. We'll be giving that one a look. One minute 30 into this half, and already Moana Pasifika find themselves sitting 20 points to 8 up. Willie Harvili line up this kick and give them a 22 to 8 point lead. They'll be up by 14. Very handy lead. But, yep, that one has gone over. I thought it was going to sneak away to the side, but 22 points to 8 now. Nice Moana, says Nas Williams. Henry Taifu taking some deep breaths at the moment, but brilliant start to the half for the Fijian Drua. For Moana Pasifika. Exactly the half start that they needed. And now 37 minutes remaining. I don't think the Drua can come back, says Spider-Mech. It's actually going to be a Fijian Drua penalty. They wanted to take the quick tap, but the referee said they weren't on the mark. I don't think the Drua can come back, says Spider-Mech. If they are going to, they need to score a try, I would say, before 50 minutes in this matchup. That one has gone into touch now. Jeez, the referee is very bright. I got 2 hours to live. I'm very sick in hospital, says Levi. So that's very bad news for yourself, mate. I am sorry to hear that. I hope you're not lying either, because there are people who are in that scenario that, of course, you don't want to be talking about lightly. Now 5 meters out from the line. Tavita Ikanaveri. Now rolling more going forward here again. Beautifully done for Tavita Ikanaveri. And he's almost over the line, but just brought down short, less than a metre. Around the side, that is going to be just short again for the Fijian Drua. It's gone backwards. Defence from Moana Pasifika. That looked like an illegal play there from Moana Pasifika. Almost through. What if Trent Bolt didn't drop that Ben Stokes catch? Would New Zealand have won the World Cup? Probably not. There would have been something else that would have cost them. Now around the side. Was he flat? Yeah, he's tried to go over. Hey, I'm joking, mate, says Levi. I mean, it's good news for you, of course. But, yeah, not the lightest subject to joke about, I don't think. 22 points to 8. Fijian Drua still playing with their yellow card, although I believe will now be back out on the field. We are getting out Amish. Been in his dad's wardrobe. Out of the game go yesterday, by the way, says Fluffy. Very close. Correct your scoreboard, Amish, says Peter Stowers. It's literally the correct scoreboard. But getting close now. The Fijian Drua. They might be just short again. It could update, of course, if there is another try. That's a bad joke, mate, says Naz Williams. But yeah, this is not my dad's. I should clarify. Right, they want to clear the grounding here. Whether or not there was a bit of double movement, maybe. They're checking for double movement here. You're allowed to put your arm out, but you're not allowed to propel yourself forward. They are waiting for the TMO. Here we go. Oh, that's done. His knee was down. So I believe that's going to be no try. Because if they show it from the other angle, the knee is down there. Yeah, they're not going to show it in this angle. That almost looks like it's held up anyway. In real life, that'll happen. Levi, no joke, cuss, says Spider Mick. Yeah, so he's propelled himself forward. Moana was 18-8. First half now is 22. How? Well, they were 15 points to 8 in the first half. Okay, the problem that they've got here is the TMO is looking at the wrong angle. Luckily, I think it's going to be held up anyway, but there was a clear other angle that they showed just before that showed him use his knee. Yep, he's propelled himself forward. It was all in one movement, says Meritiri Alangi. The referee says, nope, it was not. I once was resuscitated by a Brazilian exchange student, says Fluffy. 45 minutes in. Fijian Drua, I believe they are back to 15 now. That one does go into touch. I'm just talking to Mick Byrne, as the Fijian Drua head coach. Won't be happy with how they have started. It seems like they have really struggled to find their momentum throughout this contest. That they're stolen there, though, in the line out, the Fijian Drua. And now Lamani going back across to the right-hand side. There's a long yellow hammy. So, yeah, I think it's just a case of they need a proper stoppage so that he can make his way back out onto the field. Nice quick hand, Rebitu. Sitting 25 metres out. I didn't see any bright lights. I swear I saw Santa, though. So, yeah, Fluffy, but that is now going to be another penalty. Discipline of Moana Pasifika. Maybe going to be struggling throughout the second half. Okay, Mick Byrne, he has just said that the Fijians are going to close out this game. They're going to win this game. He said that they just need to take the opportunities when they get them. Now Tavita Ikanaviri to throw this one in. And it's stolen at the front by Moana Pasifika. Because of it, it means that Fijian Drua have once again blown another opportunity. That could have involved a try. Trying to charge that one down. Willie Havili wasn't able to do so. Asking for a few extra meters. By the looks of it, he is confused. It was a good steal. Is that the right score, Amy? It certainly is. 22 points to 8. Fijian Drua extremely close. That one is now taken by the Fijian Drua. Inside ball off to Celestino Ravatamunda. And he scores the try for the Drua. Now, he spent 10 minutes off the field. He just had a little bit more of a rest so that he can go back out there and make a statement. He makes his way back out onto the field. But 48 minutes through, and now the Drua, they move up to 13. This game is not over yet. And that's one thing we know about the Fijian Drua. They will not give up till the final whistle. Man, rugby players these days are massive, says Naz Williams. Like Fijian Drua, they are $2.50 underdogs, even though they're down by 7. That just tells you how much people back them to be able to make the comeback. There we go, Drua. Says Pinkston also, man, defense like that deserves to get a try. Says Mr. All-In, it's a miracle for any of us. Still breathing, I reckon. And it looks like Fiji have taken foot off the gas, although they just put it flat down. Ravatamanda shifted it into 5th and then just floored it towards the try line. And they get the full 7 as well. 15 points to 22. Good conversion from Armstrong Ravula. Of course, this is the first game of Super Rugby of the night, ladies and gents. The next one is just around the corner. That is the match taking place between the Crusaders and the Waratahs. Then the game after that we are covering on the channel. It is going to be a nice early morning start of 2 a.m. That is the game between the Lions and the Sharks. And then the next contest that we are covering, it will be Bulls versus Stormers. Now back across to the left-hand side. In fact, there might be a couple rearrangements, but at least one of those URC games we are going to be covering on the channel. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Now rolling this ball back, Frank Lamani. Be putting the ball high now. Chasing after this is Celestino Ravatamanda. Does end up missing the tackle. Looks like Teddy Toala trying to crawl his way forward. He's being taken down as well. And that is the penalty to Moana Pasifika. A Brazilian kiss of life. Highly recommended. Says Fluffy. Oh. This looks like some sort of injury here for Celestino Ravatamanda. He's not looking too flash at the moment here. Now William Arvili. And I rolled down mountain in the Czech Republic in a car and climbed down and up to the road. Amazement of a bunch of cyclists. Thought I died. Says Ruth. Rolled down a mountain's a bit of a bad day at the office, isn't it? Yeah, Celestino Ravatamanda just trying to snipe that ball out of the breakdown side. 50 minutes through, though. Only another 30 remaining in this game. Sam Molly with the line-out throw for Moana Pasifika here. And awkward landing for the Fijian Drua. Player lands right on his back. He gets helped back up to his feet by his teammates, but they probably should have caught him. And sweating the over. Take the 3, says Reeves. It's going to be another knock-on from the Fijian Drua. Disappointment and frustration on the faces of the Fijian Drua players who know that every little moment like that gives them another chance of being able to keep it in. Sounds like me and the old man's brand new camera. Not a scratchy, or not a scratched Ruthie. Or Kamara, I think that is. And come on, Fiji, move your butts over the try line. Here's Ruth. Second half, not too far away. Just getting the ankles stretched out at the moment. I believe that is actually Mosake Vofi. I see barbecues have been added to fire permit need. If you don't know what you're doing, in the Waikare, or sorry, the Waiteki area. And Kamara, don't do donuts, says Fluffy. There is still a player down, so the time will be stopped for a little bit longer, ladies and gents. Of course, that next game just around the corner will be happening between the Waratahs as well as none other than the Crusaders. Hamish, do you think Patch will silence the critics? We want a Kiwi 10 starting, says Hanoi. Oh, sorry, who want a Kiwi 10 starting? I mean, I thought Patchell was absolutely fantastic in the last contest. And, of course, there'll still be some who say that they want to see one of the Kiwis get that chance. And just showing a few of the Crusaders are in attendance watching this game, waiting for their opportunity to take to the field, which is only just around the corner. Eri Taraneri waiting to pick this ball up, but first of all, they have managed to get themselves the penalty advantage for MOANA Pasifika. Waikato pass from the bus. Julian Savia gets it away to Nigel Awong. Tries to use his power, manages to find the offload on the inside to Julian Savia. Eri Alangi lost his footing, so they will go back for the original penalty. Was no advantage there. They're talking about whether or not you take the points in this situation or whether you go for the corner. Looks like... Oh, okay, they're going for the corner here, MOANA Pasifika. Rather than taking on the easy 3, which would have given them a 10-point lead, they want to try and make it the full 7. So that could be costly if it doesn't work, but if it does work, it will mean they get themselves quite the handy lead. Like they're saying, it seems like they've actually ended up going backwards here. Sam Molly's still out there. A couple more changes made. Koroi Duadua has made his way on to the field. Now they're rolling more for MOANA Pasifika. Have you watched those rats dancing around on those foods down south, Emmy? Yuck. Says Bonamick. I have not. No. Now trying to get through the middle. I think that's replacement 20. Believe Mira. Eritare Enori passes back across field. 10 metres from the line. Henry Taifu. Gets it away to Sioni Havili. Talatui. Savage. Oh, that was close for Valeve Mira, but he has to let the ball go. Although they've won the penalty. Short version car, back wheels skidded on gravel on side of the road, then flipped over the edge. Says Ruth. That's a huge shot on Osefo Marcy, and they are just going to check him. William Arvelli just getting a bit of help with cramp from one of the Fijian Drua players. Right, they want to check the tackle of 14 blue. In this case, it would be Nigel Awong. You've always needed that water. It certainly did. We've already done quite a bit of talking all throughout the afternoon, and we've got plenty more coming just around the corner. Yeah, no arms, right to the head. Red card for Nigel Awong here. Just lines up Osefo Masi. Doesn't wrap his arms. That's a really dirty tackle from Nigel Awong. And the worst thing about it is he could have easily avoided doing that. Do you remember the noise? Sounds like a tsunami blowing a trombone. Am I right? It's a dangerous tackle. It is on report. We have got there. I've got you doing commentary. I've muted the game. It feels like you're actually commentating. Says Reeves. So hopefully you are in time with myself. Once they turn the clock back on, I'll let you know what second I am up to. But currently, we are seeing Nigel Awong make his way from the field. And stupid number 3 and now in a yellow card. Now let's go Samoa. The ball has been kicked in a touch, but currently on my clock it is 54 minutes and 14 seconds. Nigel Awong, I would not be surprised one bit if that gets upgraded to a red. He's come in with no arms. He's gone shoulder to the head of the opposition with force. Can't really be anything but a yellow card upgraded to a red, but now the ball has been dropped though from the Fijian Drua. Now the winger once more, Viliami Fine. He has been absolutely terrific throughout this competition so far. Now big run forward from Adrian Pole. Julian Savia has to play halfback, gets it away to Alan Craig. Now a little pass up again to the bus, Julian Savia. He's close to the try line. He won't quite get the highest try number for any player in Super Rugby. That is definitely over now though for Moana Pasifika. Even with the man disadvantage, they've been able to get themselves another one. And I was like, what? This is Moana and Drua playing. Says Spider-Mika, let's go Tonga. And let's go Samoa. Of course, the players that make up Moana Pasifika from those two Pacific Island nations. But just nice looping play. That was actually Sam Molly who managed to get over the try line. Moment we will go like this. We will go like this. There we go. And yep, only injury I got rolling Dad's car was a scratch on the back of the neck when I climbed out the window. So here's Fluffy. That's not his fault. It's our Pacific Island DNA to tackle that way. So here's Nars Williams. I mean, in old school rugby league, it would have probably been fine. Not so much in current rugby, though. Unfortunately, he probably will end up with some sort of suspension from that, which would be a shame because he actually has played very well throughout this game up to this point. But Willie Harvili does get the kick over. Now makes the score 29 points to 15. Sam Molly, the one who did manage to score. Currently Fijian Drua, they are $4.60 underdogs. Any other side being down by 2 converted tries at this point would easily be $8. But because the Fijian Drua, we know them as a side that are able to fight back in quick succession, it means that they are still sitting quite nicely. Definitely because of that yellow card as well for Moana Pasifika, which will eventually become a red. Let's go Blues. Back across to the right, Upper Salome Vorta, forward pass, but it's claimed there by Fine. And he is a superstar in the making, that man. He has made over 200 meters throughout this contest. Going to be the penalty now going the way of Moana Pasifika for offside against the Drua. I think Moana Pasifika will kick this one for the corner again. You sound biased, bro, says Tui. Out of curiosity, who do I sound biased towards? Maybe Moana Pasifika because I said that they were winning and doing decent. Or maybe to the Drua because of the fact that the odds say that they aren't as much of an underdog as they possibly should be. This one always been Islanders' weakness in this game. It's evolved for the better, the heaps though. Says Nars Williams, but Sakopi Kepu, the experienced veteran for the Wallabies, now makes his way onto the field. He actually missed all of last season due to an injury. They didn't think he might have been coming back for Moana. And we have got the RGB Bias wearing a Paisley shirt, says Fluffy. And now it's going to be Sam Molly to throw this one in. Only 22 minutes remaining. And Molly throws it in. Nicely taken by Lotu Anisi. Fijian Drua's defense just crumbled there for half a second and they pulled down the rolling maul. Another try for Moana Pasifika. And if it makes me biased for saying that's a good try, then so be it, because that is a brilliant bit of work off a rolling maul for Moana Pasifika to now be in a position of a bonus point. And also, AG Sweet as ignore, says Spider-Mick, although I was genuinely curious to see who I was biased towards. Because I normally think I'm a little bit more biased towards the Drua of these two sides. So maybe I've completely switched up, as the cool kids say. And looks ominous for Fiji now, and I thought Fiji improved in their forwards. Says Innoys and G's Drua, says Fink. And also there's the time on the screen, bro, says Nars Williams. How much time left? So now still 20 minutes remaining in this contest. It's another try this time for Abraham Pole. All of the forwards for Moana Pasifika getting in. No, mate, they're running away, says Mr. All In. You are very impartial. says Hanoi. And that kick has gone over. I think what happens sometimes is some people mistake me being biased with just me explaining what team is winning and having momentum. Like MOANA Pasifika, last 10 minutes, they've been all over the Fijian Drua. And don't get me wrong, the Fijian Drua throughout the first half, I thought Celestino Ravatamanda, one of the standouts, even with his yellow card. Right, it's been upgraded for Nigel Wong. This will become a red card. Which is it's definitely the highlight of the year so far. So yeah, Nigel Wong probably going to end up with some sort of suspension. And there, is that the first red in Super? I think it is, or at least it's very close to it. Did you hear the idea to base the Moana in Parramatta? Big Polynesian community there, similar to Auckland, says Hanoi. I would still like to see them play a little bit of their rugby in Samoa, though. Or maybe a game. I don't know whether Tonga can accommodate. I think Tonga could still accommodate. That's close to a 4-pass. Our wide, but big run down the wing here. I want to see a little bit more of Meli Deri Alangi. That time it was Apele Momo. Now, Te Waruta Rekaravita crashes at the line. The big Tasman Marco's representative. Got his ankle held onto, though, by Sam Molly, who is also a Tasman Marco. Now, big flat run from Wanga. Now, off to the right-hand side, the run from Kuroi Duana has drawn in the penalty advantage against MOANA Pasifika, who currently only have 14 men on the field. Speaking of 14, Celestino Ravatamanda taken down 10 metres out from the line. Back across Lamani. Don't think it will be too far off them making the sub for Kuravuli to make his way onto the park. And that was a little knock on from Lamani. So they will go back for the original penalty. Well, look at that score. And also, hello, Momo playing. He is indeed out on their left wing. That's close for the Drua. Maybe just short. No, they have got over. The ref has seen the grounding, and the Drua, once again, you just can't count them out because they'll keep firing back and they'll keep trying their best to get into it. What a weak red card, no head contact, or no head, direct head contact, says Samunda. I think the thing that really hurt Nigel Wong was the fact that he did go into it fully sideways. Like, if he had done it face on and it had been shouldered to where it connected, I think that there would have been a good argument to just be a yellow, but because he's lined him up like this and with the intent of trying to take his head off, I think that's what's hurt. And Apeli Molmo play or not, please? He is out on the left wing for this game. And the kick is good from the Fijian Drua, which now makes the score 36 points to 22. Come on, the Drua, says Hanoi. I just go to the Samoan Jets in Mount Druitt. Says Hanoi. Okay, thanks, bro, says Thomas. Good power shown. Okay, Sonny Bill Williams saying that he feels that red card, he doesn't want to see it change the outcome of this contest. For MOANA Pasifika, no on the bench. Says Thomas, no, he's in the starting lineup. He's at number 11. Him and Celestino Ravatamanda actually swapped wings before the game. And mind you, we have the biggest Polynesian count here in the world in Auckland. Says Naz Williams, and go the Drua. And also bring on all the subs, Fiji, says Ruth. So now 18 minutes remaining, and one of the subs that MOANA Pasifika have made is Christian Leleofano. So to have him and Sukopi Kepu off the bench, massive booster for the current leaders. Back across to the left-hand side, Taveta Ikanaveri. Frank Lamani. Working it away to the left-hand side, Armstrong, Ravula. They are still inside of their own 22 here, the Fijian Drua. But Osefo Masi with the quick hands. Goes out to Apeli Momo. Just knocked that ball on the ground. And the turnover, I believe, was going to be good. Will now be the line out for MOANA Pasifika. Now, the 20-minute red card, of course, is something that we have in Super Rugby Pacific. Are you a gullible person, Hammy? Don't mind me asking, says Spider-Meg. Probably. I like to think, like, I wouldn't so much say I'm gullible. I just like to trust people, and if they want to tell me the wrong thing, then I guess that's on them. because I'm going to take people's words for things before I go like, oh no, you're wrong or anything along that. That was a really hard landing for the MOANA Pasifika player, but it's ended up bouncing on the side of the Fijian Drua, and that will be the penalty to MOANA Pasifika. Getting in the breakdown side entry. Looks like he might have dislocated his finger in the process as well there for Sione Havili Talatui. And or they'll be the Panthers or the Bulldogs. Says Hanoi. Right, MOANA Pasifika now decide that they want to go for the 3 points. Now, this is probably the most challenging kick of the day for MOANA Pasifika. About 45 metres. The good news is it is straight out in front. Athana Kaivata, the man who has been penalised there for side entry. And Amish, you're doing great. Go and have relaxed soon. You deserve it. Thanks for your super commentary. Says Roof. And of course, the next live stream that we are going to be doing on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, will be starting in only around 54 minutes time. It is just around the corner, that being Crusaders versus Waratahs. Damn, it's a red card. Didn't see it though myself. And take the 3, says Rez. And what was your score prediction for this game? I did predict that MOANA Pasifika would win, even though they were underdogs in this contest. I just felt like they looked like the stronger of these two sides in round number 1. That is a great kick from Christian Lealiofano. It has gone over, and it now makes the score 39 points to 22. And like they've said, it uses up time on the clock when you are down an individual out there. And Crusaders at home or away? Well, both sides are away because they are both playing at AAMI Park in Melbourne. So the Waratahs are slightly closer to a home side, but it counts as a Crusaders home game. Now Frank Lamani going across the left-hand side. Armstrong Ravula goes to Ravatamanda. Nice pass on the outside from Kimi Valentini, who recently made his way onto the field for the Fijian Drua. Mani going off to the right-hand side. Karoi Dua. Big shot. And also, where is this match being played? It is at AAMI Park in Melbourne. Seeing as we are in the Super Round, it means that every single game takes place from Melbourne. I think that this is one of those matches, though, that should have been saved for one in Fiji, one in Samoa. But for some reason, that always seems to be the Super Round that we get to see these two sides playing off, or at least more recently anyway. Big run from Apele Momo. Sits down Christian Lealiofano. And a good shot, poor draw. Every time they get close, MOANA move another inch. And the Rebels should have a partnership with the Crusaders as the Storm do. Says Hanoi. Still playing under penalty of Barnett here for the draw. Armstrong Ravula puts it out to Celestino Ravatamanda. Gets the offer away to Meri Terialangi. And the ball's been lost by Mera. They'll go back for the original penalty. Was a high tackle though. The draw, I mean, I don't think they can afford to take 3s here. I think that they have to try and fight towards a losing bonus point. And who knows? I mean, they've still got a bit of time. Perhaps we could even see them work their way towards a massive comeback. But that is a fantastic kick from Armstrong Ravula. Looks like Sione Havili Talatui is down currently with some sort of injury. Rautamanda, he's limping a little bit as well. Where does MOANA Pasifika come from? So it is a side made up of their home games at the moment are at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland, but it's a side made up of pretty much anywhere in the Pacific Islands, whether that is Fiji, but mainly Samoa and Tonga. Believe they've had Cook Islands players before, and yeah, a few other regions have had players popping in for MOANA Pasifika. And the Fijians and France could form about 2 competitive super teams. Big run from Tavere Kanaviri. 1 metre out from the try line now. Around the side, Iliathana Kaivata just stopped short. It is brilliant defence from MOANA Pasifika if they can stay on side, which I believe they have not now. I need 1 point, come on. Says Rees, I mean, they're extremely close to that is for sure. Now back across, reaching out. But they are going to be turned to their back. No, the ball's just short. It's knocked on, and they'll go back for the original penalty again. 13 minutes remaining on the clock now for both of these sides. Meri Terialangi has said that it's too many down this end. wants the referee to reach into his pocket and pull out a yellow card. Okay, they're going to check this, see whether or not there was a grounding, and also maybe foul play. That's what they are checking for. Oh, okay, they're checking to see whether or not there was an offside position. So if there was, it means that it could end up being a penalty try. And last year, I remember, was 2007, says Fluffy. And what time's the next game? Thanks, says Nuz Williams. So the next game, it is between the Crusaders and the Waratahs, kicking off at 9:35 p.m. New Zealand time. And that is the last game of the Saturday night. The announcement like Eminem, says Kane. I mean, some of these names are pretty long, so to get through them, of course, we have to talk that a little bit quicker. But he's in an offside position. So originally what looked like it was very good work from Hune Koroi Duadua has actually ended up being maybe something worthy of a penalty try and another yellow card. Do the Waratahs have any chance? I honestly think they'll go all right. Like the Crusaders, they didn't light the world on fire in their last game up against the Chiefs. So I think that they really need to use that to their advantage. The Waratahs. Okay, they're trying to say 18 blue was offside. Yeah. Oh. They've said he's never back on side. It's going to be a yellow card and a penalty. Sorry, it's Sekope Kepu, in fact. Now, the commentators disagree with that decision. And the reason they disagree with it is because they've said he had both feet behind the goal line, yet is still being penalised for offside. Penalty at most, they have said as well. But Sekope Kepu, it stopped a try, but unfortunately now it has meant that he will not be continuing in this match. Or he will get like 3 minutes at the end. They have to bring on a new front rower as well now for Moana Pasifika. I disagree too, says Spider Mick. And another weak card, says Samunda. Yeah, and yeah, what initially looked like really strong defence from Sekope Kepu, because he did have both feet behind the line, like we mentioned. Fiji have a chance, says Annoy. They certainly do. They are down by 17 points at the moment, but those points can get drastically caught up if we see a few tries back to back to back for the Fijian Drua. And they're just trying to work out who is actually going on and off. Sione Mafaleo has to make his way back onto the field for Moana Pasifika. And that'll be Lotu Inisi, who makes his way from the field. And Kepu could probably make the Wallabies, given their front row issues. See, it's Annoy. See, a couple more changes are being made for both of these sides. See that Tawalangi has made his way on. And also Papuni, I think, was the other change that they made just recently. In fact, it was Halo as well. Has made his way on. A big push from the Fijian Drua. Going off to the left-hand side, Valentini gets the short ball to Armstrong. Ravula been told to release him 5 metres out from the goal line. Both sides frantically visiting the opposition 22 all throughout this match. Tiawaru Rekaravita. A little bit of an extended elbow. And it's a knock-on the ground. And now Moana Pasifika again will end up with the ball. I see that Dolakoto has made his way onto the field for Thanakai Vata as well. Kuravuli's frustrated. And they're annoyed that that was another opportunity for Moana Pasifika that they have squandered. You see how fired up they are. I think that was Iri Papuni. Came off the bench relatively recently. What was your prediction yesterday with the Rebels and the Western Force? I actually thought the Western Force would have a decent chance of winning that game, but the Rebels, they did impress me. They went from not scoring any tries the week prior to being able to score about 7 or 8 in their game up against the Western Force. And now Moana scored 2 tries when they had 13 or 14 players. Drua struggling against 13 players. Says Samanda. Unfortunately, it's the little things at the moment for the Fijian Drua's side when it comes to the lineouts. Well, sorry, not the lineouts, when it comes to the knock-ons. giving away silly infringements that are costing them a lot of possession. Ball now going to be fed in by Halo. To the pocket for Christian Leliofano. Fiji lost the plot. Boom. Says Roos are just outside of the 22 now. We have got there. Come on, Moana. Tackle your heart out. Defend, defend, defend. Says Spider Mech. Davida Ikaneveri. 10 minutes left on the clock. And the Drua, they still have the capabilities of winning this game. Because we've seen them score 3 tries in 5 minutes in another game. Last season, they managed to do that. This game, it's going to take a lot, but they're up against a 13-man Moana Pasifika side. So all they need is that one big line break to help build them back into this contest. That was close to a knock-on from Kuravuli in the breakdown. Now Osifo Masi does the American football style pass on the outside to, I believe it was Ratuva, but it gets kicked into touch. Off the grubber though, it did end up hitting the leg of Moana Pasifika. Drove no excuse but to win against 13 players, Sesamunda. And also scrum like your mother at the end of year sale at Harrods, says Ruth. Now Taveta Ikanaveri. Another line out here for the Fijian Drua. Nicely claimed by Mera. Kuravuli goes across to Valentini. All of the replacements working together. It went 20, 21, 22. Looking for 23 junior Ratuva bats on this near side. He might get another chance. Kuravuli goes to Velive Mera. Another offside penalty advantage against Moana Pasifika. Passed out wide. Scores the try there. And Apeli Momo gets it for the Fijian Drua. Now, he didn't really run it round to make it an easy kick, but I think at this point, the Fijian Drua realised they need 3 tries anyway, so they might as well just score them as quickly as they can. We have got their Moana for the win. And also coming back from this Fiji, or not coming back from this Fiji, a nice shirt today, Amish, by the way. Says, Annoy, thank you very much, mate. It's a bit of a different one from what I normally wear, that is for sure. And Vamos, Momo, I love you. Says Thomas. Well, we will go like this. We will go like that. I can hear the plus size lady singing. Says Fluffy. Now, 8.5. Or 7.5 in fact. Clock's getting just a little bit tighter here. Kick for Armstrong. Ravula. Not going to be the easiest kick of the day. But he has just snuck it in the post. Making the score now 29 points to 39. We mentioned now it's normally a high-scoring game between these two sides. And that's what we've got here once more. I got a bit of Polynesian swag to that shirt. Fits the game. Says Naz Williams. And see you all later for the Crusaders. Says Roof. And of course that game is going to be happening in about 40 minutes time. We'll start our live stream for that matchup. So anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Christian Leliofano walking very slowly back to the halfway line. Looks like my pajama top. Says Fluffy. Nicely taken by Te Ewa Rutharikaravita. Moana Pasifika looking to get that ball straight back in the breakdown. I think they've lost their footing, so it could have almost been a penalty advantage for the Fijian Drua. Now Celestino Ravatamanda. He's gone through. He's got Fijian Drua players left and right. Kuravuli with the step. And again, the Fijian Drua score. 3 tries, 5 minutes is what they've done in the past. They're about to go 3 tries, 3 minutes if they can get it again. But now, 34 points to 39, 6 minutes remaining. Have they got the comeback left in the tank? And at the moment, the betting odds are broken for this game. They have realised, hang on, the Fijian Drua are going to have a decent shot of winning this game. But from inside of their 22, Celestino Ravatamunda does extremely well. Bit of a cheap shot on him. To be honest, how long to go? Amy says spot and mech. There is still another 6 minutes. Momo and Ravatamunda adds 3. And here they come, says Beds Ablaze. The kick is good from the drawer. And now 5 minutes remaining. 36 points to 39. Oh, he was falling down, so I don't think that will be anything more serious. And yeah, who got their bets in an awesome game. Again, like last night for the Rebels versus the Force. And what was that late blitz by Fiji? They just seem to know that when they're still in a contest, they've got a good chance of getting into the lead. And don't worry, brother, I'm 100% heterosexual, says Naz Williams. Fijian Drua supporters absolutely loving it at the moment. The ones supporting Moana Pasifika, they're looking a little bit more nervous because 5 minutes left. What will happen next? Now, Christian Laliafano, ever since Moana Pasifika have made their subs, as well as that yellow card, that's kicked out on the full from Christian Laliafano. And they will go back to the halfway line now. He apologises to his teammates, but he's just opened up the door for the Drua to then be able to go in and possibly get the massive comeback. Got there, I thought Fiji were fried, says Roof. That's what they do. They make it look like they're almost down and out, and then they go, okay, now we're gonna have our turn. See how we go. It's the same with the sevens. They can be down by 14 points in sevens, and more likely than not, they're going to make that comeback and get themselves that win. Look at that. It's going to be nail biting. Says Ruth. Good there to draw. More mistakes. The more Moana Pasifika can take advantage of that, says Thomas. Now, Koravole going straight through again. Osifo Masi finds the offload. Lamani was shouting into the microphone on the sideline cam, but they've dropped the ball. The drawer. Seems like a character, Frank Lamani. He almost had the live reaction cam. 15 on 15 is a massive comeback. 15 on 13 ain't really comparative. Although at the time of, I think, that second try, they were playing up against a 14-man Moana Pasifika side. Now that ball's going to be kicked up high. Put into touch. And now it's going to be about 30 metres out from the line. The Fijian Drua again will have themselves a great chance. But Osifo Masi couldn't quite get that offload into the hands of Ravatamunda. It was brilliantly covered by Halo. And damn, he fumbled it. Yeah, it could have been 3 tries in the 3 minutes, like I mentioned. Do you bet? If yes, which betting site do you use? I do not bet no, because I suck at predictions, as you guys know from the channel. So yeah, I don't put any money on. In terms of the odds that I look at, I base it off the New Zealand TAB, but I only look at the odds. I don't actually back anything. Right. 2 minutes remaining here. By the looks of it, it is now going to be the scrum feed for Moana Pasifika after the Fijian Drua have made the mistake at line-out time. Crusaders versus Waratahs. That is taking place in only 35 minutes' time. And we will also be covering that game on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Next week, it's going to be the Fijian Drua versus the Crusaders. Moana Pasifika, they will be taking on the Rebels. Both of these sides want a much-needed win to get their momentum flying. Good run forward from Henry Taiafu. Up to 40 metres out from their own line here. Do you think Moana or the Drua can make the finals at all? I actually do think so. I haven't worked out which side yet, but I think at least one of them will make it to the quarterfinals. But from there, oh, it's the penalty to the Drua. 90 seconds remaining, and they've managed to win themselves the penalty. Now, taking the 3 would make it a tight game. I don't think they're even considering that, though. I think they're going to go for the corner. Look at the back live. Oh, no change. says Spider-Mick, and man, what a nail-biting ending here, says Mr. All-In. Okay, they've made sure that ball's gone into touch. They didn't want to go too far and kick it dead, so now 22 metres out from the line, the Fijian Drua, the replacement. It's going to be Mizulami Dolakoto. We'll be doing the URC later on. I believe of the URC, I am going to be doing the second game between the Bulls and the Stormers. And then also, of course, all throughout tomorrow with the Sevens. But 15 on 15 now for the final minute. Nicely taken by, was in the end, Valive Mera. Now back across to the right-hand side. Osefo Masi tackled well. They're going to try and line up a line break here for the Drua. Again, Kuravuli goes across. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Valive Mera takes it down. One handling error here from the Fijian Drua could do it. One penalty one by MOANA Pasifika could take this game too. Another tackle. Valive Mera, he has just hit this up 3 times almost in a row. Loose pass from the Drua. It's not the end of the world though, because sometimes it's when there's a line break or a little bit of dysfunction. That is actually when the Fijian Drua find their breaks. Now big shot on Tavita Ikanaveri. Just moves into the MOANA Pasifika half. Back across Celestino Ravatamunda. He's a man of the match contender. And he almost went through once more. Did he knock it on the ground though? Over the ball. Henry Taifu. He had his hands on it, but I think he's turned it back over. It's another penalty to the Fijian Drua. He had it for half a second. But because he got it out clean, it wasn't a penalty. They are just talking about the fact that if this is a tie, we go to golden point. And then that will determine a winner. But this is too difficult of a kick. I believe that the Fijian Drua have to go for the corner here. There is too much pressure. He's taken the quick tap. And the Drua have decided to play it like it's a game of sevens. They've got a player sitting down at the moment, getting some injury assistance. I assume that they'll have to take that medic off the field if it does go that way, or else they will have to stop the game. Tosso Duratoso says Shay in there. This one definitely living up to expectations of 2 great Pacific Island sides facing off. Fijian Drua now. Ball slapped out of their hands. Picked up, kicked into touch by MOANA Pasifika. And they have won this battle of the Pacific Islands 39 points to 36. Managing to pull it off by a very thin margin. They had a red card. They had a yellow card. Fiji also had a card throughout this game, and also 2 quick-fire tries within 2 minutes of each other. But both sides walk away with at least 1 point. Fijian Drua 1, and also MOANA Pasifika walking away with the 4 points. Good game, says Naz Williams, and feel for the Drua. Yeah, they fought hard, but this was a much better performance at times from the Drua than what we have seen in their last game up against the Blues. Yes, there is still disciplinary as a factor that they will have to try and work on. But if they can fix that, they're going to be a top contender this year. And the same can be said about MOANA Pasifika. After keeping it close with the Highlanders last week, they are going to be walking away with their first victory. Wait and see how they continue from here. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, we have got another live stream just around the corner. That is in about 30 minutes time. And that will be the exciting contest taking place between Crusaders as well as the Waratahs and Commentary. Aaron says Mr. All In. Tomorrow we have also got the Sevens as well as 2 Super Rugby Pacific games. The Brumbies in their contest up against the Chiefs, and the Hurricanes going head-to-head with the Reds as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, 30 minutes time, be sure to pop back in. We will be here for the very next live stream. But thank you all very much for being here, and we'll see you all for the next.